How's everybody doing? Alright, a couple of weeks ago I posted a video on how I break down pallets, trying to reclaim as much of the wood as possible. Well, now I have another method, and not saying that one is better than the other, it just depends on which part of the wood you want to reclaim the most of. The method I showed you before shows you the best way to reclaim the wood and allows you to get the 2x4s as well, but it requires a little extra work using the hammer and the crowbar. This week what I'm going to show you is how I do it. I just got a new toy last night, and it is a Porter cable reciprocating saw, or sawzall. With this one, if you're interested in only the wood slats, not necessarily the 2x4s, because what's going to happen is I'm going to cut the nail heads off just underneath the board where it attaches to the runners. So with the sawzall, it's going to cut the nail heads off, so the rest of the shank of the nail will still be embedded in the 2x4. Not saying you can't use it, you just have to be careful where you place screws when you're using the 2x4s. So without further ado, I'm going to show you. I have a pallet set up and I'm going to use it real quick. Now this is my new Porter cable reciprocating saw. Very nice tool. It's not very loud. Not as loud as a skill saw or table saw, but still, you know, got a little bit of noise to it. Typically you want to wear your gloves, you want to wear some eye pro in case a metal sliver comes off or a splinter or anything like that. Hearing protection if you got real sensitive hearing, but so far mine's still doing really well, so hopefully it'll maintain that way. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this pallet here, and this is a one-man operation, or woman depending on who you are. Essentially right between the slat and the 2x4 there's a little bit of gap, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you a demonstration of how I do it. I'm going to lay the pallet down, so I'm going to tilt the camera down here in just a second and just show you how easy it is to use one of these to cut through it. You want to make sure you got the right kind of blade. The blade that I have is called a demolition blade, and it cuts through metal, it cuts through wood, cuts through plastic, pretty much cuts through whatever you got to cut through. Okay, it is 10 TPI, or 10 teeth per inch. The recommendation if you're going to cut through wood and metal is anywhere from 6 TPI to 10 TPI. Okay, anything higher than that, that's usually for cutting just straight wood or soft wood. So when you get the higher teeth per inch, don't use it on metal. So there's usually at Lowe's, when I was there last night and got this, there's a guide chart there, and it tells you which is good, which blade is good depending on the material you're cutting. Okay, so give me just a moment while I reposition the camera. And it's not good for cutting dogs, and he's showing you his method for dismantling a pallet. Look out, Salvador. So you want to keep the teeth facing away from you. This saw can cut through your leg. You're just going to place it underneath. And you can do the same on both sides. And you're going to cut through it, get the middle portion. flip it over and get the other side as well. Once you're done, you'll have your 2x4s mostly intact. I had one splinter on me just because it was busted. Excuse me while I catch my balance there. Because it was busted previously. So once you tear it apart, you get to see which wood is still good and which one's busted. You may not see the cracks at first. So I'll finish this pallet up, and something else I can show you. Pallets come in different kinds of wood and different thicknesses. Like this is 1/2 inch, so it's pretty thin. And sanding it will get it down to a nice color, the nice color you want. But something I like to do is I have another quarter cable device that I like using, and that is my planer. And it really brings out the color of the wood because you get past all the grunginess. Okay. Tune in next time.